All right, back on account reviews. Today we got, I believe the name is Yuuji. Yes, that's the game. All right, Yuuji. And his message to me starts off with Hello, Kimo. I played Azure Lane around May 2022 as a free to play. Very nice. I'm pretty sure we're all free to plays here, especially me, the greatest free to play player around. I'm just kidding. Um, and watch your videos about Azur Rain. Very nice. So I could get tips, advice, and other decisions in playing it. I hope you can choose this account to review like other previous players. You are very, very lucky, my man, because we rolled a 22 today. You're number 22, so congratulations on that department. Anyways, I played during Pledge of Radiant Court in the last 3-day event. It was sad I didn't get the HMS Vanguard and her auxiliary gear. Oh, that's actually really bad because that auxiliary gear is cracked out of my mind. It is very, very good. So very unfortunate, but it will come back. The only thing I got in the event in Gacha was HMS Jervis in that event because I don't know how to reroll at the time. It is fine. I don't think rerolling was actually like a big thing, but it does suck that I couldn't get Vanguard at the time though. But it's okay. Should be back probably like in their year or so, which I think you'll be around for. It's no big deal. Anyways, though, next things are questions, so we'll get right into the account. Let's go ahead and talk about it. So 125 for about I think 1.5 years, almost 2 years. So not bad at all. Stat wise, we are looking great on the board. Secretary, I don't know why you don't have two more in your slot right there. Definitely fill those out. It's just free slots, man. That's why I just toss secretaries, you know what I'm saying? So we got lots of gems, lots of other stuff. You got 4 slots. All right, you call yourself a free to play. Honestly, these are one of these things where free to play, like you don't have to spend gems on it. Like I went probably 2 or 4 years, or 2 to 3 years, sorry, using only 2 slots, and I was doing just fine. Honestly, you don't need to buy these slots. You can save the extra 500 gems for other things, but hey, man, it's too late now. But if you enjoy it, man, by all means, go for it. All right, but 4 slots is a lot, especially if you're free to play. Now, ships, again, if it's under level 100, I'll talk about it and mention leveling it up. Otherwise, you are pretty much good to go for whatever you need to do for your account. So as of right now, you pretty much got all the good stuff needed at 120. A couple of 125 options, but they're not mandatory, just optional. One thing as for certain is if it's a UR ship, it is almost guaranteed to 125 because it is a very, very good ship. So just keep that in mind. Anything else though? As of right now, no one like super, super important going down the list. You're fairly fine in that department. Um, nothing 120 important right now. Now you do have Drake. Again, Drake is not like the greatest ship to have at 100 or the greatest ship to use nowadays, but she's still good at 125 or so when you get to later maps. But again, you don't really, really need her these days. She's seen better days. I will say that. So we can skip on her. Everyone else though, they're all right. There's not mandatory options as of right now. Yeah, you're fine here. Nothing too crazy I want to point out. Rika's a good ship to get to 120 though, but if you're already good on Vanguard stuff, you don't need her for right now. But she's still good though. Every other ship as of right now, no one in particular that I want to point out. A couple good side options, no mandatory ships. There's some side options like Pain Leve is going to be great for 15. Swiftshare Crypt is good for 13 and 15 as well. Other ships, though, nothing as of right now super, super important. So you pretty much got everything. Very, very well done. Congratulations on that department. You got all the good necessary ships ready. So going into the gear department now, please click that little button in the bottom left. Never mind, you went to the other tab first. Okay, so we got Haku Ryu. Hope you set your Valentine for tomorrow because by the time you guys watch this, it's going to be tomorrow or something like that. So let's see here. Cog chips, we're looking kind of low on cog chips, so keep up that 12-1 farming because you're going to need a lot of coggies, my man. A lot of coggies. Everything else, though, we're looking okay. Nothing in danger or anything. Plate wise, all right on the plate. General plays are always slow, but you're fine right there. Everything else, though, we're looking good. Yeah, you're pretty much good to go. For 1.5 years, though, that is actually not bad at all. It's actually really, really good. So you're doing fine right there. 3 457s. We got the Yorktown 2 plane, very nice. 4 Wyverns, very nice. 2 Plymouth guns, very nice. 1 Drake gun, very nice. 2 10 Rise, very, very nice. You are pretty much good to go in gear, so congratulations. And I do see a Unzen gun as well here as too. Or, well, wait, hold up. Do you have... Okay, Yamato gun is here too. Okay, we're good, we're good. And double check that. Yeah, right, you're fine then. You are pretty much all set for that department. I think you have 6 plus 13 seam catapults, I'm not sure, but I think you do. 3 plus 13 black dildos, very nice. 6 bitters, very good. Anything else? Ryu says, I also make some junkers, but I think you might have junkers down here. Junkers are very good at plus 13, so make a couple of those. AP rockets, we have 3 at plus 13, very nice. I don't know about white pencils, I didn't see any. Baguette guns, always more is better. 1 gold burn at plus 13, very, very nice. You're pretty much good to go. Honestly, it's just like my account. If it was like 2 or 3 years old, this would look like my accounts or similar to it. So very good, very, very good. Now, in terms of gear, I don't know what you're working on next. I assume you're working on another 10 rise, which you should. So 3 10 rise. Once you get that, you can work on whatever you want. 4th one if you want to. Go back to Plymouth guns. Plymouth guns always nice though. Plus 20 firepower. Can't really go wrong with more Plymouth guns. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna skip this part because I don't want to see gold gear. But you pretty much got the gist of it. Skins. Fireball skins look really nice. I didn't get this though. The Pixel Nebula. I want that. It looks really cool, but alas, unlucky is unlucky. So. There's a lot of good gear skins. I've been trying to try out new ones recently. There's a lot of good gear skins. So I made it a goal of mine to try out newer gear skins. And I'm trying to. This looks so nice, man. Norm stuff. I think, is this the current one? Or am I getting IJN one, I think. So what we have here are these are EXP morale. Again, don't dorm backline ships. They will get 120 very, very fast compared to Vanguards. Always dorm Vanguards because these ships are a pain to get to 120. Trust me. Always, always dorm Vanguards. Never backline if possible. Alright, Cats. I hope you're working on your Drake and Kid. That's all that matters. The other ones you can skip unless you have an IJN one or whatever. Or not IJN. Bishimaru. Because Bishimaru is very good. This Bishimaru, though, has seen better days. I would try to get a better one. This has, like, one good line. And that's pretty much it. These cats don't matter. That's an okay cat. But I will work on, the Kid and the Drake cat. The Kid and Drake cat are pretty much all your necessary cat needs. Unless you're using carrier stuff, which you'll use Bishimaru for. So use, like, that one or something. But, yeah, I'll work on those, though. Now, shipyard progression, let's go ahead and look. I'm going to go to the beginning here. I sit up straight as well, too, because bad positioning. PR1 is basically done. Neptune and St. Louis, you don't have to make those. The other one right here is also pretty much done. You got the DRs to a Dev 30, so that's fine. Georgia is also done as well, too, so you can work on those whenever you, leftovers whenever you want. Drake and Cheshire are worked on and are done as well, too. PR4 is basically all done. Hakuryu got faced in 5, so when you have leftover prints for that, max that out as well. PR4, sorry. PR5, Plymouth is... Oh, wait. I didn't even see that. My brain is lagging right there. PR5, okay. Plymouth is max. Brest is nice to have, but you don't need... honestly, nowadays, you don't really need her because you have Guam. So you can skip on her. Like, Brest was good at chapter 15, but now we have Guam, so it's kind of like, whatever. But Plymouth, though, always nice to have. And then PR6, we have everyone being worked on as of right now. Take your time with that. You are pretty much in a good spot. You can probably finish this in like another 1.5 years, and then be done with PR forever. So yes, take your time on that. There's nothing important in PR6 anyways. So just work on these as well too. Fleet tech is really important. Permastats are always nice to have. And you're doing it right now, I think. Or if you had money, you do it. So yeah, let's see. Ooh, okay. So chapter 14 is done. That is very, very good. 15 came out, but I think that was like a while ago. So I don't know if this was 2 months ago. So I assume it's gonna be a while. All right, so I'm assuming these are gonna be your ships or whatever. So I assume this is the boss fleet. Very, very good boss fleet. You don't have Vanguard, which is perfectly fine. This is also very overkill for a boss fleet. I would swap these out for like a pound or something, because Takimaru is a Vanguard, and albeit the Vanguards do a decent amount of damage, they don't do enough damage on like bigger Arbiter fights or something like that. It's all your backline damage. So more cats focus on backline, because that's where most of your meat of the damage comes from, especially if you have Hell No. Hell No, Takimaru does like nothing. All right, so this is the carrier setup. Now I would put Haku Ryu in the middle, because she has, if you're going like torpedo bombers, she has that little wave cutter, and you want to have her in the middle because you want to hit as many enemies with that air cutter as possible. So I'll best do that. The setup though works perfectly fine for carriers though. Very, very nice. So you have 2 boss fleet, you're very much good to go. Now this fleet right here, I assume it's the mob fleet because I see unicorn. So we have, I think, I want to say Jervis. I'm going to say Jervis. It might be Jervis. I know it's the HMS DD. Jervis, Shimakaze, Independence. I'm supposed to say Indianapolis. I don't know why. Azuma. I think this is fine. You have a lot of HE damage. A lot of mixed heavy damage as well too with torpedoes. And I think this fleet is perfectly fine, honestly. I think it gets the job done for whatever it needs to do with it. And then I guess this is the filler fleet. Now for filler fleets, if you don't need like this fleet at all or something, I would stack this fleet with just like cross barrages, because that will help out your other 3 fleets much, much more. Especially if you have an active fleet that you don't use like almost like ever. So I would do that, because it gives you more damage and more utility to your other fleets. And then I think this is the meta summary setup as of right now. So this works very, very nice. And get that last cat done as well too. I would get a I think is it Idleweiss or something like that? I would get that as my elite sub cat. Is that done? Okay, we're done. Nice. All right. So now we have questions here. So the first one is, what are the best ships to clear Chapter 13 hard mode and 15? So, assuming you pulled for Laffy 2 and Guam, those 2 are going to make your life much, much easier going to Chapter 15. So, do that first. If you have Laffy and Guam, or Laffy 2 and Guam, you're pretty much good to go. If you're still struggling, though, a couple suggestions that you can get to 125 or whatever is basically the ships I listed in my guide or whatever. But for a couple examples, I'll talk about the 100 ships plus, because those are much easier to understand versus just whatever you want to level up with. So URs are always nice to have. A couple good options here that you can bring. Scylla is a very, very good ship in Chapter 15. So, and 15 hard as well too. Shimanto, but you're working on PR6 as of right now, so it's going to be a while for that. So Scylla, Guam, and Laffy 2 right there. Very, very clean setup for Chapter 15 Vanguard. Now, for your boss Vanguard, you may have to change some stuff up, like have some more AADD. San Diego helps out a lot as well too. So do that. And healers. Healer planes are the meta in Chapter 15. So like Unicorn, Payne LeVay, Claudia Valence or whatever her name is from the one collab we have. Volga, I think her name was. A lot of carrier planes can heal or whatever. Just so bring those and you should be alright. There's a guide on it I made for Chapter 15. Just pick other ships, toss them together, and it should work out. The second question is, what else should I plus 13 gear aside from leveling gear, and what else should I craft? So boss gear is always mandatory. Whenever you bring gear to a boss that you're fighting, If all the gear is plus 15, you did it properly. If there is some gear that you're bringing to that boss fight that's not plus 13 it. Like for example, if I'm trying to do a Hermit fight, I have 2 Ryuseis that are plus 10. You're fighting Hermit, you might as well use them at plus 13, my man. So upgrade the gear that you need for specific boss fights and focus on that. Mob setups, most of the time, almost no mob content in this game requires plus 13 gear. Plus 10 works perfectly fine. So just focus mainly on bossing gear. And for the most part, you pretty much have all the bossing gear like good to go. If there are a couple things that you're missing, you probably noticed in my video that I'm using it. I'll just do that. But for the most part, though, you're pretty much good to go, I think. Just maybe like a couple Ryuseis or whatever planes and things just reach plus 13 should be okay. Should I farm Kearsarge or should I prioritize the remaining PR and PR5? If you have Guam and Laffy too, I think Kearsarge is perfectly good. Assuming I think you do have Yorktown too. Again, I didn't double check, but I think you do have her. Yorktown 2 benefits very, very well with Kearsarge. So Kearsarge, Yorktown 2, very, very strong setup. So if you do want to keep using Yorktown 2 for whatever reason, then yes, I highly advise getting Kearsarge because that's going to make your life really, really good when using Yorktown 2. What other ships I need at 125? So at this point, if you're done with like OS or whatever, like you can do OS meta fights at one tap. I would focus on 125ing ships that prepare you for chapter 15, like Scylla, like Unicorn, stuff like that. Ships that are gonna be very, very good moving into chapter 15. So I would focus on those ships. And those ships I listed in my video, so do that. But right now, from what I see though, none of these are important aside from Scylla. And then Claudia can be 125 as well too. She's a very good ship there. And that's pretty much it from what I see. There's a couple probably others, but I'm not gonna worry too much about it. Just those two. Good 125 options for chapter 15. I'm really confused on me officers. What do I need to level up cats? For now, if you're really confused about it, just work on Kid and Drake that you got for free. Those are really, really good. And then for cats, you just focus on damage lines like aviation, like damage, aviation lines. Reload is really good as well too for carriers. Again, I have a video talking about the way you want to build a cat, and it's specifically just focusing on their strength. If it's a carrier cat, you go all carrier lines. If it's a battleship cat, you go all battleships lines, stuff like that. So it's an old video. I'll look that up though, but it's still relevant to this very, very day. And for 6th question, in the submarine, who do I need to worth it level or 125? I think what we're using right now for submarines is okay for 125. So just get those ships up to 125. You should be okay. Again, I did most of the content in this game 120 subs, so it's not that big of a deal. But if you really want 125 submarines though, then what you're using as of right now should be all right. Let me just find it somewhere. It's somewhere in here. Yes, over here, I think. So like whatever you're using right here should be okay. If that's the meta submarine, that should be fine. Like this is fine, 125 right here, I think. Maybe U96. I think that's U96. I'm not even sure. But yeah, I think this might be okay. I will look it up though, but I don't think it matters too much nowadays. Like submarines is good to have, but it's not like super like you have to like pick the right submarines to 125. Otherwise, you're gonna lose like so much damage output, or you won't clear. And it's not that big. It's not that serious. I think this is fine though. But I'll double check on submarines to see which is like the best loadout nowadays because I'm not too confident on that either. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it for that account review. Very solid, very clean, very good job. So I'm done here. See you guys next video and have a good one.